Here we are, everybody heading into not game 3 just yet.
Not sure what's going on with that one. But, like you said, we are back, and this will be Syndicate versus a warm winter buddies. Syndicate, you've already seen them. Did pretty well. Treebro having a great showing on that Graves jungle.
Yeah, so we do have Syndicate on the blue side featuring Wenner, Treebro, Colaire. It seems they changed up their mid lane. Fully Noited and Clarazio as their support, facing off against warm winter buddies on the red side featuring Zep, Sir Celery, Mango the Magus, Honey, and Huge Red Panda. So we are going to be heading into game in just a second, and then we'll get to see an interesting ban phase.
Yeah, I think the first thing that they came out with was Gnar ban, which I'm not sure if that was intentional. However, yeah, probably going to be pretty interesting seeing both of these, seeing Syndicate already play. And you know, if I'm being honest, I'm actually just kind of glad that we went back to lobby now rather than at the end of Champ Select, which has been the sort of theme whenever there's been difficulties during Champ Select. Just go through it, then go back. At least we're going back immediately now, so that's cool. And I believe, yeah, Syndicate working with maybe one ban, potentially 0.
Well, I believe this is their actual team. Let me just double check. No, they're actually... Yeah, their roster's all mangled. So they will, I believe, not have all their bans. But here we go, back into Champ Select.
Yeah, I believe they might have 2. We know that Colaire for a fact is sub, I believe.
Yeah. So I believe they're redoing the bans overall. No same bans. So let's take a look. What are we expecting? I mean, we've seen a lot of pretty normal picks so far. Nothing too crazy coming around. Nothing too crazy, you know, being banned away. We've seen Janna banned. We've seen, you know, Gnar picked. The Gnar ban, though, Wenner must have done very well on it his second set after doing pretty well on it in the first set.
I think expecting probably. I mean, so far as we've seen Lulu picks, Ezreal or Ashe, it was nice to see the Lucian get picked up. Pretty refreshing after what's became a stale ADC meta, but it's starting to fan out just a little bit. Or, you know, control mages, Vladimir especially. Junglers are always pretty much going to be Graves, Rengar. So interested to see how the winter Wonder buddies will play around that and see if they want to ban out some of those high priority junglers.
Yeah, and we've seen Aurelion Sol ban come out a little odd. Aurelion Sol, not something that we've been seeing a lot of lately. So it's going to be taken out this time. So it's something that I'm kind of surprised. I wouldn't have expected Aurelion Sol to get picked up, but these things happen.
It could potentially also be a throwaway ban, because I've seen a few teams do it so far where they'll ban Aurelion Sol as a throwaway.
So 0 bans coming out for Syndicate.
Okay. And then I believe, I'm not sure, I have a feeling those Janna and Aurelion Sol bans are those.
Those have to be very heavy targeted bans. Banning the Janna away from Clarizo, and then the Aurelion Sol being banned away from Colaire. So definitely targeted a bit. I mean, obviously the Gnar being banned away from Wenner, like I said, he did very well on it last time. So it's they had an idea and they had a plan.
It seems as such. As now they're locking in a Caitlyn and a Kindred. We haven't seen Kindred in quite some time. On the side of the buddies. On the other side, though, on this blue side, Graves gets picked up once more for Treebro. Has had a fantastic showing in his last games, as we keep harping on about. But man, that was really good.
Yeah, and so now I'm curious, do they try and steal the Lulu away and they do decide to take that away. Super strong pick, something that definitely need to control, because heading into Caitlyn Lulu is a nightmare, and it's probably the tier 0 bot lane at the moment.
Yeah, especially with some of those AD carries that can sort of out trade Lulu early, falling out of favor. Misfortune, Varus. So nice to see it kind of have that resurgence, similarly to Vladimir, that is going to get picked up. Mango the Magus, however, is hovering Anivia. I would really love to see this pick, honestly.
The Articuno pick, it's definitely something that we don't see a lot of, but I feel like it's a very good pick into the Vladimir, and Vladimir just shoves lane over and over and over and over again. So I mean, something to completely combat that, I feel, is something that we're kind of lacking in the mid lane.
Yeah, and then I think well, Malzahar does get locked. I believe that would be a Malzahar support and the Anivia. Ooh, this is such a cool comp.
It's interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool though, because I mean, if they don't really, they can sort of drain tank with the Kindred ulti. While they do have like a bunch of squishes on their side, the Winter Wonder buddies can drain tank with a Kindred ulti, you know, bait out some stuff, and then respond with damage of their own. I think kind of curious how these interactions will go. It looks like it's trying to be a little bit of a pick comp with the Malzahar, Caitlyn, and Nivea being able to stack all their damage at once. But again, it's not set in stone just yet. Right now, we are waiting on Syndicate to make their picks happen. We are waiting on the, I believe, top lane and 80 carry picks.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of flexibility so far in their composition that those picks really could have gone anywhere, but if we do see these two locked, then they have a formidable team fight coming in.
Yeah, this is gonna be pretty strong, and right now as it stands, Winter Wonder buddies aren't working with a front line, so we'll have to come out of the top lane. I'm curious how that one will go. Just to reiterate, Galio is disabled right now. Admins have deemed it too OP to pick, as it were.
Yeah, definitely something that I'm excited for coming into next week is seeing that the Galio isn't available yet, and I'm curious. Like, they need a top laner.
Front line. Yeah, they need a front line.
They lock the Galio.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if they're aware that Galio is prohibited.
I mean, I'll cast it. I don't know what the.
Can we get the ref ruling on this?
Yeah, where is everybody? But we don't see it dropping yet, so I don't know if.
I've not yet seen a prohibited pick yet, so I actually don't know what if any consequences are picking a prohibited champion.
I believe it's just a remake, but
it's so good. I really want to see it. I want to see it so bad, especially because, like, I don't know, Galio being that huge tank threat that he is just gives a breath of fresh air to tank meta top lane. This already always just has been.
There it is. I was gonna say, yeah, it's definitely time to get it kicked back. So we do have the teams ready. Now, we do need to get everybody back in here, get the picks done once again. I don't believe it's going to be a complete redraft. I believe it's just...
Yeah, replacement pick for the Galio, I believe. So I'm trying to think, because with that team comp that the buddies drafted, it really needs some front line, or else it'll be extremely hard to pull off.
This new client gives me cancer. I was like 30 or 20 words into a message, and then all of a sudden it just kicks over, and I'm like, ugh, to erase the whole message. But
yeah, why can't you see your friends when you're in Champs? Like, that kind of bothers me.
Because the Champs like takes up the whole window.
Oh yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that.
But now we are just going to run through the bans once again, and then we'll see what Zep really is going to be taking into that top lane.
Maybe a Scion. Scion's the only contender that I can think of right now to that Nautilus frontline threat, and then it would really facilitate some of the AoE damage that Winter Wonder
the
Buddies were
thing
working
is,
with.
at the end of the draft, but right before the picks were locked, we saw the the Nautilus in the bottom lane with the Lulu in the top, and it seems we had another crash in the champ select. So this game just doesn't want to get going.
I mean, I can't imagine that players are just as frustrated as we are. Yeah, is there a ruling on this? They're like, just let us get the free win. So I'm trying to, off the top of my head, trying to remember the team comp that Syndicate drafted. It was really meta, like really meta. Nautilus, oh yeah, Nautilus, Graves, Vladimir, Ashe, Lulu. Yeah, so Ashe, Lulu is always pretty oppressive. Can imagine that to kind of swing towards them depending on which support they pick.
Oh, they had the support. It was Malzahar support. It was Ashe.
Oh yeah, Malzahar support.
It was Ashe, but we didn't know if it was.
It was Malzahar, Caitlyn. Was what
Yeah,
it was
but we didn't know if
buddies.
it was Ashe Lulu or Ashe Nautilus, because, like I was saying, you would expect the Ashe Lulu, but right before the picks got locked, it was actually Lulu top.
Oh, that's really interesting.
So we will just have to see how that comes through.
Yeah, this could be a potential forfeit, although I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, it was Zep's client crashed, and so now we are just waiting for him to come back into the game. But this new Riot client does cause these kind of issues.
Yeah, the reconnect. Yeah, I was working with the new client. We'd get into a game, and then like for 4 games straight in like a single day, it would just crash almost automatically, like after champ select would be over.
Alright, so we're getting everybody back into the game. They're getting into the right order. And then hopefully right back in the game so we can get this going and back on schedule.
I'm just waiting for the team comps to go back up.
Yeah, now that everybody's here, they're just zipping right through the ban phase. No longer having to worry about what is getting banned away because the Galio ban coming through. They already know what they're picking. They already know what is available to them.
Yeah, that should be the Nautilus. Nope.
So the Maokai is the pick for the Warm Winter Buddies. And something we've seen a lot in the top lane, Maokai Nautilus, time and time again. So something that we're well versed in, knowledgeable in, and it's one of those things where Maokai does kind of outscale a little bit, but he struggles early game.
Yeah, he's gonna really struggle, especially after those derfs. I'm actually really curious. I feel like Sion's a much better pick, honestly.
The Sion was... I like Sion a lot. He does have his own issues. Like no quite reliable engage onto a specific target, along with Flash really kind of hurting his engageability, whereas Twisted Advance obviously following everything.
So, yeah, that's a really fair point, actually. Yeah, that's pretty huge, you know, the reliability of landing the Decimating Smash or being able to get those ultis onto multiple targets.
Yeah, so I mean, it's one of those things where the Sion has potential, but like Primus and I were talking about last night, is the Sion support might actually be viewed before the Sion top.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point, you know, but putting him in support It has its pros and cons. You know, being a melee support in a ranged melee meta does make him get poked down just a little bit, but he usually can live through that with the W. But if you put him in top lane, gets a little bit more gold put into him, so he can become a much quicker tank threat. That being said, though, to talk about reliable engage, they are working with a Malzahar, so there could be really strong pick potential if they coupled the Malzahar with the Scion. But they ultimately go with the Maokai for even more point and click, and see how that works out for them.
So we see the team comps are finally going to be getting into a game very quickly here. Looking at the two team comps, they're a little bit different than what we're used to seeing these last couple weeks. We have a Kindred and an Anivia for Warm Winter Buddies. Do you think that might be a bit more of a gamble than something that they can rely on?
What do you mean?
Like, you know, you have the Kindred who fallen out of flavor super duper hard just due to nerfs and meta changes. Granted, they've seen a couple more changes helping out on her passive a little bit, but when running into something as tried and true as the Graves, do you think they're gambling a bit much here?
Yeah, I would think that they are taking a little bit of a gamble, especially considering that Kindred. I mean, if she gets behind, not really much she can do, and especially if she's working up such a tanky lineup. Even Graves himself, without building much, can be pretty tanky. But Vladimir Nautilus, if she's behind, she's not going to do anything to those threats, like almost whatsoever. So it is pretty big gamble. But even in the early game though, like with how hard Graves farms, it might be a little bit difficult for her to get those marks on if Graves is quick to them before she is.
Yeah, you know, like I said, they changed it so it's easier for her to get her marks. The first 2 or 3 of them always going to be on a Scuttle Crab. But Graves is a very quick farmer. He can get through his entire jungle very quickly and then move on to the Scuttle Crabs. And early levels has a lot more burst than the Kindred, so should be able to control those pretty hard if she comes to contest. But I guess we'll just have to see how it goes down there. Now 30 seconds left on the clock. Who do you see coming out with the W this time?
I want to give it over to Syndicate. Both games a little bit hesitant, but just seeing the comp that they have, it's a lot more balanced, and it's not as feast or famine as the comp on the side of the Warm Winter Buddies. But to dive in a little bit deeper, I'm super excited for the Anivia Vladimir matchup. I love Anivia, it's one of my favorite champions. I love watching people play her, and they both took Ignite. Both mid laners took Ignite in this matchup, so they're going to be at each other's throats, continually calling your jungler for ganks, constantly trying to get some kills.
Yeah, I mean, we've been seeing Ignite a lot lately onto Vladimir, going with that Proto Belt build, getting lots of early damage early on, so it's something that's kind of becoming expected. It's one of those things where it's going to come into play quite a bit into the Anivia matchup just due to having the egg passive and not really having to worry about it too much, but it's definitely in the back of Anivia's mind.
Yeah, and I think the top lane match would probably also go to Nautilus after all the nerfs that he sustained. And looking right now at the Keystone Masteries, Kindred and Caitlyn opted for the Warlord's Bloodlust, which I believe they just buffed it? I can't remember.
They changed it up a little bit where now the heal can crit, which can be pretty huge. It does bring it kind of in line with normal lifesteal. So instead of just putting it onto normal lifesteal,
that being said, I feel like Kindred would want to go for Fervor.
yeah, I mean, I definitely would have expected the Fervor to come through. The Warlords seems a little different. It definitely will help since they took off the ingrained sustain in her build, or in her kit. But I feel like the Fervor would bring more to the champion than the Warlords.
Yeah, we are in game. We'll be loading in just in a bit. And now that I'm thinking about it, looking at the team comp on the Warminer buttons, they are working with a lot of damage. And considering like they don't really need that many members to make it an effective pick. Malzahar, Caitlyn Trap, and the net into like Anivia, Ulti, and then Frost. I mean, it's just they're working with quite some damage. So if they pick out Lulu, Ashe, they're gonna have a tough time trying to avoid a lot of these picks.
It's definitely going to be an interesting set of an interesting matchup coming in here.
It looks like both junglers, looks like Wenner is gonna get spotted out here. Sir Celery and Zep waiting in that pixel brush, while the enemy team, Syndicate, are sitting snugly behind that red buff. They might be looking for an invade here. Take away that blue buff. Right now, Syndicate have no idea that this is happening. They are going to sneak up on Wenner. They aren't getting spotted out. This is like a little ninja game.
They're not spotted yet. They are checking for Wenner.
Oh, they're about... Are they? Where is it? They found him.
He's not caught
Now
shopping. Twisted Advance comes in, though, and there's no way for him to get out. First blood coming in. Goes on to Zep of all people. That is horrible for Wenner right now.
Not so sure about their team environment, as a deluge of missing pings just came on to Wenner. That actually could have been a potential... There is a pause here, so potential lag spike, maybe? Not sure what the pause is about, but that was a pretty interesting circumstance.
Yeah, and what a weird route they ended up taking through the jungle, where that's completely unexpected. I would not have thought for people to go that way.
I think they're just doing their diligence and trying to fully clear out and see what was in that top side. But finally, we'll see someone do the standard Graves start of Raptors into red. Kindred starts top, which is interesting. I wonder why she would have started top and not bot for the stronger leash.
It opens it up for her to come bot lane. So now they do get the early push on. Damage is coming in from the Caitlyn. Oh man,
wow,
this Lulu is so impressive in every game though.
Yeah, it looks like, I'm not sure though. Right now, Huge Red Panda is sitting on a full health bar, while the Syndicate bot side is on about 66, close to 50%. Honey's doing a good job of poking them with auto attacks wherever possible. It looks like both junglers on their respective blue buffs now. Kindred a little bit ahead. Didn't clear out the Raptor camp. Her first mark is on that top side scuttle.
And we can already see Mango making his way up, trying to make sure that Treebro's not already on it. But having just finished the camp, I think this might be going over to Celery.
Yeah, I agree. This could also potentially be an early fight if they want to fight over it. But Treebro stuck onto that Gromp. I think they're going to finish. Yep. Successfully gets the mark and is now going up to top side.
Ooh, tons of damage coming in from Mango there. So we see...
I believe Graves was spotted.
He is sneaking up. Zep's taking tons of damage. Twisted Advance in. End of the line is going to connect, though. Zep's forced to flash away. Now Celery's in a dangerous 1v2. Gets the kill, flashes away. This could be huge for Treebro. Gets one. Has flash available. Can he use it? Gets the end of the line. Double kill coming in for Treebro. Disaster has struck for Warm Winter Buddies. And how do they recover from that?
That was such a great play. And I'm not sure if it is going to need that big of a recovery. It's still early, anyone's game, but I mean, putting 2 kills onto Treebro is pretty imperative.
TP coming back in from Zep too. Treebro can get damage down. He does get tagged under tower, though. He's gonna go down. Zep with the trade kill.
Slight misstep from Treebro. Has red buff, accidentally takes tower. Zep capitalizes very, very skillfully picked that one up for himself. Second marker for Kindred is going to go onto that second scuttle, picks that one up very easily.
So even with the double kill going to Treebro, 2 stacks already onto Celery's passive. That's pretty huge. That's going to help a lot.
Yeah, it will help a lot, and it's going to help even more to push her up.
Oh, Wenner losing this trade. Zepp picking up the solo kill.
Well,
what is that?
One. Even after the nerfs, 0 and 3 already for Wenner's Nautilus. It's 5 minutes in. Minions spawn at 1:30. It's almost like a kill every single time he gets back to lane. He has 14 CS.
Well, the first death coming in before minions.
Yeah, before minions spawn. Bit of an unfortunate mishap.
But now it's getting to a point where there is a 1,000 gold lead onto Zepp.
Wow, yeah. So they are 1,000 gold ahead. Warm Winter Bunnies are 1,000 gold ahead, and it's almost all of it's just resting within Zepp.
Zepp is getting huge. He's already got the Spectre's Cowl, already has the Chain Vest. There's almost nobody that can kill him on this team already.
It's already...
Oh, big damage coming in here. Fully Noited going down? Potentially. There it is. They do get 1 for 1, but tons of damage onto Honey as well. Level 6 available for Zepp. Still has double buff. Gets the damage down. Can he follow it up, though? The dredge line coming out after the twisted advance. Slow coming in. But Celery comes top. Can they get any further? They're going for the dive. The damage goes down. Wenner has no damage, but Wenner's going to survive. Celery goes down in the end, though. 1 for 1 in the mid lane, while Kolar's getting the advantage. Should be able to pop the egg. Potentially gets it. He's just outside of tower range. Yeah, he will not be able to pick up that kill just yet, but he does manage to pop the egg for now.
So I was watching the bot lane dive there. Really, really well calculated. Treebro knew that all he needed were a few more minions to level 6. Sticks around, waits for the wave to come back, clears it out, gets level 6. Honey does not realize it and is able to... And Treebro is able to pick up the kill on that one using that newly acquired collateral damage. And wow, this game is really just... I mean, I don't want to say it's spiraled out of control, but 11 team kills in 7 minutes is pretty interesting. A breath of fresh air from what we're normally used to in these last few games.
Yeah, lots of farm has usually been the name of the game, but we see Red Panda trying to get the red buff steal, but Smite...
slick.
Yeah, Treebro would have been pretty tilted.
Yeah, looking at this bot lane, and they are going similar item builds, but slight edge over to Fully Noited on that 1 kill.
Yeah, Noited not going for the same Bork build that we saw last time the Ashe was picked in Game 1 today. So kind of going the more normal Essence Reaver style build. Clarizzo taking super lows. Gonna force the exhaust, but the chase is still on.
He's got the hops. Stellar, where are your hops? Not enough. Clarizzo's gonna get out of that one, but in exchange his health bar for that. And in the top lane, Zepp and Wenner continually fighting it out. Looks like Wenner's got the slight edge right now.
Yeah, mana definitely in favor of Zepp, although the Corrupting Potion coming in pretty big damage-wise there.
And Treebro is here, potentially looking to poke down the tower. Just gonna say hello to his top laner, try to shove it out just a little bit more.
Celery getting the jump onto Clarizzo, should get the kill, gets it, flashes over the wall, has level 6, but Fully Noited is scared, flashes away, stays alive for now. Mango getting aggressed upon. Hemoplague coming in, flash over the wall, does not land the Tides of Blood though.
Yeah, that's going to be huge. Not having that flash, it's one less tool that Colère has to escape a potential gank. Looks like they are going to be able to shove down this bot lane tower though. And Fully Noited is pacing back and forth.
Zepp finding himself aggressed upon once again. First brick though going over to Warm Winter Buddies.
I feel like
Pings upon pings upon pings. TP coming in. Will fully Noited go down though. Forces the heal. Clarizzo's doing everything he can. Gets taken out. Dredgeline comes in. TP coming in as well. Fully Noited needs to get over the wall. Does. But does he have the damage to survive? Wenner, though, in a horrible position. Gonna get taken down. Celery picking up his 4th kill of the game. And now with 5 members in the bot lane, they can continue pushing. They are going to super threaten this tier 2. When it's up to Trebro in the top lane to get the tier 1.
So, you remember when I was talking about the spiral out of control thing? I think we hit that point.
I think the Fiesta is in full swing.
Yeah, I would believe so, and it's 4 kills. Almost all of the kills are resting between the top laner and the jungler on the side of Warm Winter Buddies. We were talking about how much of a gamble that this Kindred pick was, but it's working out.
Yeah, I'm a little tilted if I'm Syndicate right now, because this is not a pick that you're used to seeing, but it's also a pick you're not used to seeing do well in this level of play.
Yeah, especially, and I mean, half the kills for Warm Winter Buddies are from Wenner. Definitely something questionable up there. Potentially a fluke, still very, very early in this game and in this season.
Who got that? Alright, so Celery was able to get that Scuttle Crab. The collateral damage was burned, but it was not in time.
So one thing that we haven't talked about is dragons, and the reason being that it's a cloud, so neither team really going to be trying to force something around there.
Oh, man.
They are going to be forcing, however, Warm Winter Buddies brute forcing this tower down in the mid lane.
Yeah, Mango is on point. Oh, the wall perfectly placed. Clarizzo not going to go down just yet. There it is. Flash auto coming in from Honey. Finally putting himself on the board.
This game is nuts.
Now Wenner stuck between a tree and a hard place once again. No escape. Depth charge coming in, trying to get the 1-for-1, but Zep is just too damn tanky. Stun for stun. Mango's tanking tower. Flashes away. Egg form coming through. Can he survive? The answer is not today. Pony's trying to get away. Ignite is on. Quick draw in. Double kill for Trebro. 5th coming in for himself. Does he go down here though? Celery forced to not even ultimate. Didn't have time. Triple kill for Trebro. They're just running at him at this point.
On the backside of that though, Zep was able to get that top tower down. So that is a 4 towers rather down for Syndicate.
Trebro
they just don't want to stop fighting.
Trebro just wants the kills. He's so bloodthirsty. 6-1-0 already.
20 team kills in 12 minutes.
It's almost 2 kills a minute.
Yeah, this is ridiculous right now, and oh my God, they don't even want dragons. They're just going for towers. Warm Winter Buddies are just. Oh man, this game's going nuts.
And there is so much more. It's only 13 minutes in. There's so many towers left. There's so many marks left, which mark count on the Kindred. I am curious. 5 marks on the Kindred already.
Wow.
It's 13 minutes in, 5 marks.
That's crazy.
That is insane.
What's also insane is having a 6-in-1 Graves, where it's almost all the team kills are on the side of Syndicate are resting within the Graves. If Trebro can carry this one out, that'd be pretty nuts considering how fed the top laner of Warm Winter Buddies is.
Yeah, I mean Zep
5-1. He didn't even finish his Spirit Visage for the lane phase. He just stayed on the Spectre's Cowl and then just thought he was gonna get the tower down, so he opted to buy armor for tower dives and for the Graves.
Yeah, I mean he's also recognizing that the only damage remaining or currently on Syndicate is that Graves. Wenner getting caught out once again. Wild Growth keeping him alive for now. Finally going to get slain. Celery pops down the ultimate, doing damage as much as he can. Forces the flash back into his own ultimate. Collateral damage not going to get taken down. Zepp is under the tower. Treebro cannot do the damage just yet. Shutdown coming in. Finally cutting down the big beefy tree. But now Warm Winter Buddies are on the run. Mango taking super low. Heal's going to keep him alive for now. Honan still alive. Panda doing whatever he can to come alive. Teleport. Wenner's coming back into the fight. Can they get more? Dredgeline gonna go land onto Red Panda. This is huge. Wenner getting a second kill for himself. Traps Celery again. They're doing everything they can. Double kill for Wenner. The Kindred finally gonna go down, and the mid lane tower as well being picked up by Treebro.
God, what a lengthy fight, and just talk about micro mechanics a little bit. Sir Celery did hop towards Clarizia to try to finish him off, and then flash back under his ultimate, which would have been a pretty cool play. He was able to pull it off. Unfortunately, it was not, and then goes down himself, losing a tower in the process. And it looks like right now Syndicate are going to move on to this Cloud Drake, as it is pretty much the only objective that they could take right now. No towers in the bot lane for them. It's just wow.
Yeah, the minions not really in a position for them to push more in that bot lane, but they do get one. They get the Cloud Drake, and there's still semblance of life in this team.
Oh, there definitely is. And after they start living, they die, and then they come back, and then they want to keep fighting. This is the kind of League of Legends that I love, honestly. Just the scrappy nature. Both teams constantly fighting.
And Zepp just has zero fear right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, I believe my spectator client is bugged right now or something. I can't pull up the scoreboard. I switched it to teamfight mode, and now I won't pull up the scoreboard anymore.
Did you hit tab? If you hit tab, you have to go back into the interface visibility and add scoreboard back in.
No, it's not taking any keyboard commands actually, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, you'll probably just have to go in and click through on the interface, because once you hit that tab button, it's just a nightmare. I don't know why, but we're hitting a point in the game where the teams are running out of things to fight for outside of those big objectives. Baron's actually not even alive for another 3 minutes even.
Yeah, and Dragon's not going to be up for a while either. That's actually a fantastic point. That, I mean, they don't. Yeah, they really just don't have much more to fight over, and it's not really at the point in the game where Zepp can face tank towers just yet. So
I mean,
right
he can tank quite a bit. He's no slouch when it comes to towers.
That being said, though, against the team, I don't know. This Graves is doing some heavy damage. So right now, we'll just be about that vision game and trying to acquire control of the map. We can see both.
The hook's not quite gonna land onto Red Panda, but the depth charge is unavoidable. They're looking like they're going to trade tower for support, though. But Syndicate fall off the chase on the support. They are collapsing onto Mango, though. Gonna get Enchanting Crystal out into the Hemo Plague, stunned forever. And he's egged under tower. That's so unlucky. Seller throws down the ultimate. Can they keep him alive? The answer is no. Mango gets taken down. Wild Growth onto Wenner. Keeps him healthy, though. Now the chase is on. Can they get any more out of this?
I don't think so, Doc. I mean, they are hightailing it, and they are pretty far away. If they could have something to speed them up. The Cloud Drake is doing its work to try to catch them, but looks like ultimately they will make it out with only Magus going down in that fight. Marin will be spawning soon, although I doubt any team will be trying to make some moves for that one, as it'll just be about division for right now.
And now it's on to the double AD carries of Syndicate to be able to burn out these towers, burn out these, these pretty tanky champions. I mean, Mango's going to start getting there. Already has the Rod of the Ages stacking up. There's already one full armor item onto Zepp. Will be picking up more soon. Completing the Spirit Visage took priority, though. So it's getting dangerous for both sides now.
Yeah, definitely would agree with you on that one. As we look at the map, push priority is on the side of Warminster buddies in the bot lane, but similarly on the top lane, they Syndicate has that pushing for them. That will give them a little bit ease of access to ward once Baron starts becoming a threat in the next few seconds.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about how neither team can really threaten early on the Baron, but as the time goes on and there's more stacks that this Kindred gets, it's gonna hit a point where if Kindred and Maokai disappear from the map, really at any point, then they're on the Baron. Like, that's a thought that has to be going through Syndicate's mind right now.
Yeah, I honestly have a feeling that even without the Maokai, the remaining 4 members of Warminster Buddies could potentially just burn down the Baron. But yeah, like you're saying, Maokai and Kindred would easily deal with that Baron with how fast Maokai is scaled. Baron is now live. They will be looking towards. They have really good vision control over that with that Scuttle Crab, but the defensive wards are there.
I think they're thinking about it because both Celery and Zepp are hanging out here. I think the thought crossed their mind that they could do it. Colaire forced to pull out early. Not going to have that if they decide to engage.
Both teams are playing with very, very many trepidations. You can see the vision isn't very deep, and where it is on the opposite sides, there isn't any deep wards for Syndicate, as they're just kind of not cornered, but it's a bit interesting that, like, with how open the map is, that's more space for Warminster Buddies to pressure them into. Yeah, so most of their vision is just isolated towards their top side.
The dragon is spawning. It is an infernal, which could be clutch. But with the dragon being the bait, they're starting up the Baron. They're so tanky though. They jumped over the wall. Pings are going down for Syndicate though. Zepp is super far forward. He's going to twist it advance on a Collizer though. That could be the kill. Panda picks that up for himself. Wenner teleported in, but now he's stuck behind enemy lines. He flashes away. Depth charge lands on the 2, but can he get away? There's so much damage coming in, but he's kind of tanky.
Zepp 2v1ing?
Zepp is in the mid lane 1v3ing, and Wenner does not... Wait.
One more.
Come on.
Just what is... Gotta catch him over the wall.
Oh, there's the speed up.
There it is, finally, after...
The movement speed boost.
Across the map.
Yeah, the movement speed from the Warlords was what sealed the kill there. But now the tower is in real danger of going down. Zepp's tanking it. Flash in from Colaire. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow's gonna take down Panda. And now it's Mages versus the World. Egg is available. Honan not quite in the fight just yet. Double kill coming in. Honan's playing super scared right now. And it is a 2-for-1. Clarizo is going to come in, gets taken down immediately by the Twisted Advance. Now Celery is going off, but taking tons of damage. There's no more danger here from either side. Enchanted Crystal Arrow is down. So Honey is able to walk away from that. They might find Kindred, though.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have this Infernal Drake in the bag, and I'm not sure if it would have been a better call.
Zepp has TP.
Alexi's is going to channel and come back in. Too late.
Dragon comes in. Zepp does go in, though. The kill comes in. Shutdown for Celery. Wasn't able to be in the ultimate. That is another shutdown. Double kill for Celery. That's the Baron.
Yeah, they're all pinging it out. That was such a great teleport from Zepp to come in for that one and clean it up after Syndicate was a little bit overextended.
So they lose the Infernal Drake, but they get 3 kills, and they're going to get the Baron.
Yeah, and really right now, Syndicate was so close to getting that top tower, too. That would have been a nice little nudge for them in terms of advantage. But yeah, this is very easily their Baron.
I mean, even 23.5 minutes in, look at how quickly it's going down. Panda's going to get jumped on, though. He should be taken out here. Does go down, so that is the support not getting the Baron. They finish it very quickly afterwards.
I think he was trying to zone, but just a little bit too far forward. It could potentially look for a fight here and try to cancel some backs. Not soon enough.
Oh,
when
Mages gets caught, has Flash available, but he also has friends very close by. Clearzo, oh my lord! Tons of damage, half health on that Shatter coming in. Will they do it again? The answer's no.
Oh, that was so close.
That one might have gone a bit better with fully Noided versus the support, but just massive damage coming in from Mango right there.
I mean, might be 1 in 4, but Rod of Age is almost fully stacked along with that Seraph's Embrace, so he's going to be putting out some pretty heavy damage numbers, especially onto a target with close to 0 MR.
Yeah, and now with the Baron available, this mid tower should not be for long. In fact, it should just go down right here. There's no way they can defend it. And with 0 other waves prepped, it almost feels like Warm Winter Buddies don't have a plan right now. Although, jump over the wall, Colaire is taken so incredibly low. Seller is going to jump over the wall just in time. He is taking still so much damage. Enchanted Crystal Arrow gets the shutdown. Now it is a 1-for-1 trade. Treebro gets locked up. Huge Red Panda finally going to go down to Colaire. Treebro is facing off against his arch nemesis, though, and gets the kill. Double kill coming in. Meanwhile, this is disaster for Warm Winter Buddies. What happened?
Yeah, really questionable for Sir Celery to hop over that wall, even just for poke. I mean, what are you going to accomplish with that one auto attack of poke and then hop back over? Gets polymorphed. Then it's, I mean, to be fair, a little bit of an unlucky crit. Coming in from fully Noided onto Sir Celery's face, but the rest of the team, there's no ult to protect the squishy backline that they have, so they ultimately just go down to the damage. So that's going to be the counter take of that tier 2 mid tower. Sir Celery is back up, but what a wasted Baron, really.
Yeah, I mean, getting the 1 tower and then getting aced is definitely not what you want to happen. Especially after you basically, you know, when you get 3 kills, Baron, and everything's looking up for you, only to then get aced. It speaks to poor communication with Celery going over that wall, only to get blown up without using his ultimate. Although Celery finds the heal, Warlord's Bloodlust coming in huge for him.
I guess that suits his aggressive playstyle to survive just a little bit longer in his engagements, but you brought up a great point about Sideways and how they didn't have many other options or aren't really playing with a plan. And I mean, that kind of just showcased it a little bit with the hopping over that wall like we keep talking about, but especially that side wave control is extremely important when you want to try to take down some of these objectives. And they have such an open base right now, 2 exposed inhibitor towers, that Baron should have, you know, been so much more than that, and it's a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, it was their tool to try and crack the base. Dragon in 1.5 minutes. It is another Inferno, so they do kind of have a chance to redeem themselves. But if they do lose that Dragon, things are starting to look scary for them, because Syndicate will then have 2 Infernos and a Cloud with not another one possibly to come. Depending on when they decide to take it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like
Zep and Colaire both getting caught out. The Ignite just stunned forever. But now Zep doing what he can in the top lane. Celery over the wall gets 1. Redemption's coming in. A bold second kill not going to come in. The ace in the hole seals that though. Meanwhile, top lane Zep gets taken down, but at the cost of his team getting the inhibitor. So overall, pretty worth play. They're pushing for more.
This could be game.
They have 280 carries. Wiener tagged up, gets taken down by Celery. 11, 5, and 7. 1 Nexus Tower going down. Only 1 to stand, with Treebro being the only member left. Could this be the game? Can Treebro do it? He gets locked up, gets taken down. That is the game.
Wow.
Wait, is it the game? Yeah, there it is. Ace.
Sir Celery almost goes down. Ultimately, that will be Warm Winter Buddies taking that game from Syndicate in an interesting fashion. I want to say it was like a fiesta throughout, honestly.
what seemed like very promising games or series at either side. Both teams getting leads and being able to do well with them. And then just kind of seeming to throw it away. It was one of those things where everybody seemed to be doing good, and then nobody seemed to be doing good.
Yeah, it's just two teams just bashing their abilities up against each other, and I don't know what the epitome of feels bad man is, but I can imagine that the closest thing to it would be Warner's performance. That game 5 and 10 was close to half of the enemy team kills.
Yeah, it was one of those weird situations where Trebro seemed to be doing very well, 6-1 at one point, and then it just kind of seemed to not be enough compared to the rest of his team. But when you have an enemy Maokai start 3-0 or 3-1 basically, that's such a heavy hill to climb.
Yeah, and speaking of heavy hills to climb, looking at these damage charts, it's almost like the game of the junglers. Kindred coming in here with the most in the entire game at 27,000, while the enemy Graves, Trebro himself on 21,000, by far the highest damage dealers in the game.
Yeah, and when you pick such carry junglers like that, I mean the Kindred, we were doubting the Kindred, and then just popped off such a huge start, having 5 stacks by 13 minutes. I mean, that's when you're thinking about the Maokai, the Kindred's going to be there. The bot lane, Caitlyn ended 3-3-11, but overall not the most meaningful impact because you had the Kindred that was in and out, ultimates keeping her alive by a hair, and just craziness going on there.
Yeah, and it's really great to have an asset like that in your team when you have someone that is a little bit aggressive, that forces stuff and plays a little bit, kind of crazily, for lack of a better term, because it forces a lot of stuff, and you can potentially come out on top and get a lot of advantages for yourself, and that's exactly what she did that game. It was really, really nice to see. Sir Seller definitely had a strong performance this game.
Yeah, so I'm excited. We do have 2 more games featured today. So stay tuned for that, guys. We will be taking a short break while the teams get set up in their lobbies. So I hope you guys stay tuned. We have plenty more craziness planned. So the doctor will be right back. Thank you, Wumbo, for coming in today. I know it was a bit last minute, but thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you, too. I really enjoyed it. These games have been really, really great to cast.
So with that, guys, like I said, we will be right back featuring Team O versus Team Sky. So prepare your butts. That's coming your way fast.